Oh, so push away. No. It's
Let's see if we can get up there actually.
The main game getting underway is 3 minutes. I'd like to remind everyone about our game today that next Saturday here at the Dent, Gungahlin are taking on West in our annual charity day event. That will be next Saturday here at the Dent against West. Our annual charity day. The Gungahlin will be here supporting two very worthy local causes. One, every Tuesday we play a sports charity, donating money to low-income families in their city, and then
Couple of big timers. We got headsets or they working? Shit, sorry. Great day for charity. On Sunday night next week we head to Gungahlin Sports Club where we will auction off our charity for the year. And our charity sponsor this year, very generous sponsorship from Monarch Building Solutions. Left, Jurgen.
Monarch Building Solutions. We'd like to say thank you for your support of the Gungahlin Eagles Charity Day 2019. We hope to see you there next week. The main game here today coming up in just 2 minutes time.
Hold on for a second.
Are we out on the mic?
You got the sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Just hold it like that for you.
Take your shirt off.
Go them first and then...
Yeah.
That's great.
That's not bad.
No. Bit of a regular now, though. Pardon? Yeah. Dog's alright.
Can you guys shuffle over anymore? Can you shuffle over anymore?
Yeah. Can you shuffle over a little bit more, mate?
Yeah, it's about as...
Looks like we'll be going straight on. So we'll run through the thing and by looks like we're just going to go straight on. Do test. Test.
Test. Have we?
Ladies ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the net your Canberra Toyota Gungahlin Eagles. Led out by Captain.
Hello and welcome to Nichols Enclosed for round 14 of the 2019 Griffin Legal John Dent Cup for Bar TV. Ryan Murphy taking you through all the action of the Hand Superdry match of the round between the league leaders, the Gungahlin Eagles, and the Uni-Norths Owls. Safe to say, absolutely no love lost between these two sides. Eagles have got the better of the matchup of late, winning last time out, and of course in that elimination final last season. A game you can bet the Owls are still thinking about as they look set to go here at Nichols Enclosed. Joined in commentary today, once again, deja vu, Big Red. We're back at Nichols Enclosed. Tom Ross, great day for footy here at Nichols Enclosed, mate.
Absolute ripper. It's always a good day to play rugby at Nichols, so should be in for a good one.
Absolutely, as Isaac Walker gets us underway. Drop cold there by Will Sankey to get things going. So Gungahlin get the first chance to attack. We will run you through the sides as we get a chance here. That's Joel Atkins digging for the ball, giving to Tamati Ioane back in the side today as he gets his first chance to attack. Walker just pops back inside to Matt Hawke, and he's cough on up here early, but we will come back for that initial knock on off the kickoff. A fast start here from both sides. Just quick note, we've got a visiting referee today in Nick Lease from Queensland, so bit of point of difference there for this one today, Rossi. He'll have to get to know the Dobson brothers and co very quickly for this first scrum.
And he'll have to learn how to talk to Smalley as captain, so that'll be a bit different.
Absolutely. Lots of different personalities out there. Big scrum here early from the Gungahlin Eagles. Setting their stall out early. Big first scrum there, Tom.
Yeah, well,
definitely seemed to be a big shove there on that loose head side with Ray Dobson going up against Colt in Carter there, a tight head for Uni-Norths Owls. Big initial shove early doors from the home side, Tom.
it'll be a big matchup today, I think. Early doors, I'd like to see, the young tight head work his craft against the experienced Dobson. So, but I'm looking forward to that matchup.
It's certainly been a big point of emphasis for Gungahlin this season. That trio, that experienced trio of Alex Small leading at hooker with the brothers Dobson, Ray, Nick. Such a deadly weapon all season for Gungahlin, and with very little time gone in this game, the Eagles look to stamp their authority up front. Decent set for the Eagles and Small. Controls at the base, but great spoiling from Uni-Norths Owls, forcing Atkins to play wide. And here's Mac Hansen, puts a bit of footwork, does Mac Hansen. Had Luke Duffy on the right wing, chose to go himself. Still good possession here for Gungahlin. Small gets them tracking forward. Counter attack looked good from Owls, but just off their feet, so penalty for the Eagles. Gift of 3 here, Tom. Early doors, do you consider taking the points?
I like this setup with the first maul in the corner here, so I agree with the call to go for the sideline.
It was a good kick from Walker too. Gives Eagles a nice little position once again, even deeper this time in Owls 22. They go long to Atkins. Perfect place to launch a maul, but it's good spoiling again from Uni-Norths. Fantastic work in the tight stuff from Uni. Duffy, big collision in midfield. Nick Dobson goes close, and Continue here with Ali Nahi, and Nahi has spun his way over for the first try of the game. It seemed like he had absolutely no space to work there, Tom, but wriggled his way over for a great score.
That close to the line is pretty hard to stop, and yeah, as I said, he didn't quite have much room to work with, and yeah, big fella wriggles through.
Absolutely, he was brilliant off the bench last week. Player of the day for Gungahlin was Ali Nahi, and he's made his presence known on the day early here. Has the young centre. Jeez, it looked like he had absolutely no right to score from there, Tommy. I have to say, Al's defence had been good in the phases leading up to that, but just couldn't keep hold of the big fella.
Yeah, there was some good line speed there from ours, and they held him out a bit, but yeah, too good, too strong.
Good start from the home side here. Coming off that draw last week where they probably would have been disappointed with the performance, if not the result against a good Viking side. Very important for them, the league leaders, to get off to a hot start, and they certainly have done it for Els. Well, they just haven't had a chance to get any pill here, Tom, just clinical work from the Eagles.
Yeah, they've held on to the footy pretty well and showed a bit of patience there in the A zone.
Smart from Callum Richardson there, just to get Uni-Norths a little bit of territory, going long off the kickoff. And here's Richardson again, finds his fullback Jordan Thompson wearing 23. It's a nice touch finder there from Thompson. That cultured left boot of Jordan Thompson settles things down for the Owls. That's important, isn't it, Tom? After you leak some points, you don't want to, double the error, and playing smart footy there, Thompson, just plugging the corners.
Certainly want to play field position. Eagles have shown what they can do in A zone, and it was a smart option from Thompson there.
Eagles go long at the line. They're looking for Tamati Ioane, but it's been coughed up. So they go wide to Reese. Reese scored one of the most ridiculous tries you'll ever see last week in second grade. Don't know if you caught that on the John Oden Instagram, Tommy, but did a somersault at halfway, beat a couple, raced away, and he's earned himself a spot in first grade off it this week.
I did see that. Pretty quick feet.
Quick feet. Quick feet to tumble and gather the feet, I reckon. It was not too impressed, the big fella. How about this one from Tago? Half break from the centre, and he's forced a penalty here, not rolling away by the Eagles. Excellent response here from Els, having gone down 7-0 with the kick from Isaac Walker. So they'll have a discussion here about what's to come, and they'll go for the shot. Interesting decision there from Els.
Yeah, I think, last time Eagles played Uni-Norths at ANU, it was the scoreboard pressure that really kept Uni-Norths back in the game. And, despite being behind on the scoreboard, they really clawed their way back. And, I think points on the board, it's going to be dangerous in the back end of the game.
Absolutely. You don't see a lot. It's a thing that's happening in rugby now where teams are kind of looking to defer away from kicking threes. There's a lot of statistical knowledge now in the game that backs up going for the corners, and it's something I think we saw at the top level this year as we see Thompson knock one over, plugging back 3 points for his side. But yeah, scoreboard pressure versus the expected value of going to the corner and scoring a try. For you, Tom, is it as a player out there when you've got a bit of dominance and the three is up for grabs, when your captain says, "Oh, we're going for the corner," or your captain says, "Taking your three," what are you thinking?
Well,
is it all situational? It's about the time in the game.
Absolutely, and it's all about game management, really, and when and where on the field you are, and whether your boys need a breather. Like I know, packing scrum after scrum, it's not a bad thing to just suck the breath in, take the 3 points.
And especially when you've just given away a try. Bringing back three, but they're under the pump again here, Uni-Norths. Hawk dabbed one down the line. was well met by Thompson, and he's returned
Good nudge.
favour here, Thompson. Great nudge from the fullback. We've talked him up twice here early doors, Tom, but one of the best kickers of the ball in the entire competition, Jordan Thompson, and that is a peach off the left foot under pressure as well.
Yeah, he's proven handy for them this year.
At 10 and 12, he's a
Very versatile.
versatile player and a very important player. Worked his way up the grades at Uni-Norths. Certainly an established first grade player now is Jordan Thompson. It's a good spot there from hooker Alex Small. Eagles go to the conventional line at this time and they try to get that maul going once again. Walker spots a little bit of space, does Isaac Walker.
No real chase there.
Yeah, Corey Toole just having to hold his feet, but found an acre of real estate there, Isaac Walker. Thompson doesn't get as much of a hold of that one. Ray Dobson and Joel Atkins fighting over who's going to take the high ball. And Hansen, all alone here is Hansen, so he's going to have to do a bit of dancing here. Mac Hansen still going. Eventually bowled into touch.
Oh, easy.
Well, we said before the first kick was made in earnest, Tom, that there was absolutely no love lost between the Uni-Norths Owls and the Gungahlin Eagles. We're seeing it already. Tempers flaring.
Yeah, it's always going to be a good battle.
Kind of all stems from that game last year, around similar time last year, when, of course, Gungahlin went into ANU North and there was niggle all day, there was cards, there was chat.
And I think these two sides just hate losing to each other because for years they've been, about level pegging, and it's always going to be a tough game when these two come up against each other, regardless of where they are on the ladder.
And it's such a unique thing to local sport and amateur sport, where there's so many actual friendships on both sides here, where the bragging rights don't just stop here today at Nichols Oval. They carry on into workplaces. They carry on into the shorties of the world tonight. This is what it means between these two sides, and we see it every single time they play. Just the tempers, they can't help themselves. And we talk about Eagles kind of defined their season last year on this fixture, losing that game we talked about, but putting up a massive fight that day where they were down to, I believe, 12 men right at the end and still managed to put up a fight, as we said, but going on and winning against Owls to secure a spot in finals and then beating the Owls once again in the prelim final. And for Uni, as we see, a question and a ticking to here from Nick Leask, and Tago goes to the bin. Well, as we were talking about the tempers, Tom, that was it. Definitely a bit of niggle there and too much for referee Nick Leask. And Tago goes to the bin.
That won't be the first time you see tempers fire today.
Well, we'll hope it's the first time the cheese is shown, but definitely not going to be the first time things get a little bit out of hand, as we said. One of the biggest rivalries building in this competition over the last years. Stanley takes the ball at the front, and it gives to Finucane Towders Walker. One of the best on ground for Gungahlin last week was JP Finucane Tow. Another good counter ruck from Owls, but Eagles still holding on to possession. Slow ball, so Atkins will have to dig. Options left to right, and he goes right to Mac Hansen. He goes wide early to Duffy. Patient build-up now for Gungahlin.
Really looks like they're hitting that breakdown pretty hard, Uni-Norths, defence or attack. It's worked for them in the past.
Well, they've got players all over their side who really like to compete at the breakdown, and they force a turnover. Numbers now if they wish to attack. Richardson gives it to Wade. Here's Reese. Ooh, big shot from Matt Hawke.
Hawk Dog's eyes lit up there.
He loves nothing more.
Oh,
And
there you
again from Matt Hawke. He comes alive into this one. And not only does he put on 2 or 3 big shots, frustration from the Owls side, and the giveaway penalty coming straight off their feet was Willoughby Axelson there. Big shot from the 10. Definitely looked to make his mark there on Matt Hawke. But it's a free chance to attack again for Gungahlin. For the Owls, Rossi, when the emotions are high, you've got to be able to cool your jets there, don't you? And not give, just on a platter another chance for this strong Eagles forward pack to attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Discipline going to be very key here, isn't it?
Yeah, and I pointed at it last week when, the tempers start to flare. You just need to go back to the processes and tick the right boxes in their game and not worry about too much what the other side's doing.
It was better from Owls there. And they force a penalty. Fantastic work once again at the breakdown. It's Phil Ferreira amongst it there. Dave Bennett, Isalele Fa trying to build his side up. That's a big stand from Owls in this game, Tom, because things were just starting to creak down to 14. They forced a penalty at that breakdown. We've seen just before they're targeting that breakdown every chance they get.
And they reap the rewards from it. They've got a fair few boys in there. I'd say Phil Ferreira and Benno's extremely good over the ball. So, if Eagles are going to want to hold on to the footy today, they've got to target that area of the game.
Absolutely, Bennett, a leader of men and one of the best over the ball in the competition. And here is that man, Bennett. Cleans up off the miscued line out, and Crichton goes digging. Once again, Owls plugging the corners, playing smart footy here with ball in hand. Haven't really seen much of a chance for them to attack yet, Tom, but a clear strategy here from Sam Rolfe and Russ Ingram to play corners and get this big Eagles pack moving.
Yeah, they obviously want to play down the Eagles end of the field, which is fairly straightforward. Just play for field position.
Atkins spots a little half gap and goes himself. Needs some support now. Shaw steps into halfback. Gives to Walker and he finds Tamati Ioane. Takes more than a couple to take down big Tamati Ioane, and he gets Eagles over the advantage line. Walker spots a half gap once again. Goes to the old school spiral. Doesn't quite come off that time. So Thompson, time to pick his spot. Found Hansen. There was a question whether that one might have gone forward, and we do play on. Hansen moving the wrong way, but gets his side out of trouble. And here's Corey Toole. Puts on the Jester's tool. Found a couple of big bodies there. Did Corey Toole now. Have to be released now. Oh. Once again, Owls targeting that breakdown. Piling in with numbers every chance they get. Sankey on that occasion. Walker. Territory battle becoming very, very important here. And that one will
stayed in.
Just hold up.
Got lucky there.
Just the absolute correct amount of Weet-Bix this morning for Isaac Walker. But again, you just see Eagles responding to the Owls. Call to play territory. Walker, he'll play that game all day, won't he? Tom, one of the best boots himself in the competition.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Jordan Thompson before and how he goes with the boot. Isaac, as we saw last week, he put a fair few towering bombs down the pitch and proved difficult to catch.
Absolutely, he's got the full range. Walker, of course, had that kick to win it last weekend here. The 33-year-old draw. Tuggeranong Vikings. 7-3 so far here. An enthralling contest. Question whether he was outside there, but
He's done well there, Thompson. He knew his rules.
it's a hell of a kick from Thompson once again. Well, it's not the prettiest on the eye, Tom, but it's the smart play, it's the smart footy, and both sides doing a really good job of not losing this game early. Often it can be the case in these big occasions as Lynch comes away with that maul and offloads to Bennett. Ferreira into first receiver. Oh, and he is whacked by Tamati Ioane. Oh, Ioane's eyes lit up like it was Christmas, Tom.
I think that's one thing that Eagles have probably missed out on the last couple of weeks is a bit of physicality, and we surely get that back with Tamati being back in the side.
Here he is again, Tamati Ioane. Such an interesting story to see a slight little knock on there from Els. Push and shove after the whistle. Yeah, Tamati Ioane, a guy obviously very talented, was in league, comes to Gungahlin, you know, trying to live out his dream of playing professional footy. One big game for Gungahlin against Vikings and gets into the Brumbies setup.
Brumbies Academy. Yeah, he's been impressive with, the first 5 games that he had before having a couple of weeks off. He moved down from Brisbane, playing rugby league up there, obviously, and just watching some of his highlight reels playing league up there, he was proving a handful to stop as he has proved in the Canberra comp.
Well, it's been a real asset to this side. He's been a galvanising factor. I think oftentimes a guy can come in and be a real bright spot on the pitch, but from what you hear, he's a really nice bright spark around the place as well. Doesn't say a heap, but guys really, enjoy his company, and it's such an important thing when you come into a new club, especially at a club like Gungahlin where there's such tight-knit bonds around the place, to come in and fit into a place. Very difficult, and he's definitely done that both on the pitch and off the pitch. Yeah,
and definitely this year with Marco coming in, there's no egos around the club, and everyone feels welcome and part of the club, and he's embraced it with both hands, and I think he's loving his footy at the moment.
He's got the perfect platform to attack off if he wishes, but Atkins says no. Backs ball, and they go wide through Nahi. Little half step from Ali Nahi, but he's met really well by Waite in the centres. Didn't quite manage to hold him up, Waite. Did stem the flow, so they'll have to get things moving again, and they do through Shaw. Gungahlin are carried by the big man, Levi Shaw, and Hawke steps into first receiver, finding his centre partner, Nahi, who once again, difficult to take down. Crichton reacts first with the ball out and almost managed to hold up his opposite number, Atkins. Ball available now. It's Hanton. Plays scrum half and pops off to Dobson. Ioane. Short line back into the ruck. Not a lot of options here for Atkins, so just looks to play to the forwards. It's actually Nahi stepping in there as an extra back row forward.
Yeah, they've got to get forward, Eagles. I think Uni-Norths are sniffing too much around the ruck, so they've really got to get forward.
Seem to be playing quite narrow early doors here. Tom, definitely playing into that strong breakdown presence for the Owls. And it works once again for Uni-Norths. Brilliant turnover at the breakdown, certainly getting the better of the contact area so far here today. Crichton plays out back to Axelson, and once again, no question about where that ball was going from Willoughby Axelson. Hansen mops up well and gets a good contact on that ball. Net gain for Uni-Norths Owls. Another big stand there with Tago about to come on to the park, having served his yellow card. That's a big win for Uni-Norths Owls.
Yeah, no points there while Tago was off. Big win.
Finucane Tau. Carry from the big man. It's a couple of good touches from Finucane Tau now in this half. Ball on the deck. Another win for Uni-Norths Owls in defence. Well, we haven't seen much in the way of attacking from Uni-Norths, but gee, the defence since giving up that first try where they didn't really have a chance to stop the Eagles, it's been excellent from Uni-Norths.
Yeah, they're certainly not wasting any energy they don't have to in attack, and they're really turning Eagles around and making them work off the ball. But yeah, I think they might use a bit of flair back in the back end of the half.
I think you look down that side, Tom, you look at some of the names. There's Alelif, James Lynch, Josh Friend, Will Sankey, Bennett, Ferreira, Osborne, Axelson, Waite. These are all guys that are able to really stand up and front up physically, and some guys in there maybe a little bit limited in their footballing, but all those guys are hard-edged and hard to beat. You see it in the way they target that breakdown. It's not just your 7, it's not just Bennett. It's Lynch, it's Ferreira, it's Friend. They all have options across the board to defend and get after that ball.
Yep.
Such a tough thing to play against as an opposition, isn't it? Because if you push it wide, it's not like you can avoid the Friends or the Bennetts. You know that either side of the park, if you play wide too early, you're going to get targeted over the ball. So maybe that's why Eagles playing a little bit narrow but getting forced narrow.
But with playing narrow, they need to find connection with their ball carrier, because a couple of times their carriers have been left alone, and no real clean out.
Absolutely, got to play smarter and together to the Eagles. And again, Thompson puts one on the toe. Tough task for Corey Toole to mop this one up. He's on his own here, Corey Toole. Kick from Thompson was almost inch perfect from the fullback. Put Eagles under mountains of pressure, and Walker able to get a clean shot away. But now the Owls, can they launch an attack?
It's pretty hard to get down this end of the field, so it'll be interesting to see what they've got, whether it's a set play or just looking for holes through the Eagles' defence.
Absolutely, and they go to that 5-man drive. Not working there and more time, but they do get possession. Axelson wrapped up by JP Finucane Tau. So Uni will have to get things moving the right way, and they do through Osborne. Chopped down well is Osborne. Continue to play smart footy. It's not been flashy. It's not even, couldn't even call it effective currently until Bennett gets behind the Eagles' defence. Crichton goes wide to Ferreira. He'll take some stopping. Will Phil Ferreira. Crichton goes wide to Bennett. Ball just put behind the Owls captain. If he caught that, he was in for 5, Tom.
Absolutely. They're poking little holes around the Eagles' ruck there, and running those high lines sometimes pay dividends.
Dave Bennett, just like the way the skipper was just changing that point of contact for his side. A lot of lateral movement from Owls, and Bennett just straight north-south, getting his side moving and forward.
And when Bennett starts something, he's often followed by his troops. He's a very valiant leader, and when he gets going, the boys tend to pick up for him.
It always feels like he's one of these guys that there's a couple in every side around the competition that doesn't matter who he plays for. Everyone around the competition has just had massive respect for him, and he certainly doesn't pull many punches, but hard-edged and an inspirational captain, as we see another inspirational figure come onto the pitch for Gungahlin.
Is Jake Helgesson first grade game since round 1, I believe.
Absolutely, the co-winner of the McDougall medal last year, Jake Helgesson, comes onto the pitch in place of Tane Atkins. So early shower for Tane Atkins. They won't lose much with Helgesson, and he gets on the ball straight away. A kick from Walker of Helgesson, of course, did, as we said, co-winner of the top honour last year, and it was a really well-deserved award. Helgesson so consistent for Gungahlin last year, and again, another sign of just the strength and depth in this Eagles outfit this year, that they've managed to take top spot without perhaps their best player last year. So when you've got a guy coming like that, as we see Uni force another penalty with good work at the breakdown, but having a guy like Helgesson come back into the side at this late time when maybe guys are getting a bit tired, he just provides a little bit of extra energy now coming into the tail end, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, another boost of energy, and he just loves getting around. It might sound a bit cliche, but he loves getting around the boys, and he loves his rugby here at Eagles. And he's one of those kids he's always been here, and you wouldn't see it any other way than in an Eagles jumper.
No, 100%. He's a very important figure to the culture of Eagles. We say another couple has to be said. The same thing could be said for Els, with guys coming back into their squad. As Matt Hawke sends one down into a bit of space. So the turnover again from Els. So good work in defence, good work at the breakdown, territory game working well. So far, attack has been limited from the visitors here, and that's got them still trying to find a way.
Here we go.
Level here with Ioane choosing to bump off this time with numbers out wide. Look for a second that Ali Nahi could have just broke into that gap. Was met well in the tackle. Dobson plays to his brother. Little Michael Jordan one-handed show there from Ray Dobson. Gives to Stanley. Walker met and wrapped up by Callum Richardson. Bit of a falcon there in midfield as Ioane gives it off to Hawke. Crazy sequence of football here at Nichols. Finally with a breakdown. Bennett menacing there.
You'll always find him at the bottom of a ruck, Bennett.
Dobson just overplaying slightly. Eagles still. Someone here just needs to settle things down for both sides. Els got to get that defensive line right, as it has been in Eagles. Do the smart thing now for Nukitau. Good settling carry, but once again overplaying, and finally the turnover comes. So great work again defensively from Els, but Eagles probably just overplaying there, Tom.
Yeah, I think they needed to set up their pods and get go forward in attack, and there was a bit of panic there early on, and they kept building phases, but the more phases that came, the more rushed it became.
It's the type of thing sometimes that you think offloading is a, we're playing attacking rugby if we're offloading, but often it can just lead to losing yards and not being able to attack effectively.
Yeah, and, offload's one of those high risk, high reward kind of things in a game, and, if you pull them off, it can turn teams around and turn into points, but ball goes to ground, drops a couple of bottom lips, and it can be a 50-50 kind of play.
You see Lockie Osborne come off the park, a little bit of claret there. for the young number 8, replaced by Ben Love, as we said. Ooh.
Fans got a whiff of that one.
Just as he was coming off the park, gave this grandstand crowd a bit of a show there, did Lachlan Osborne. I can't imagine we'll be seeing him back in action, Tom. That was massive gash on his eyebrow there, but they won't lose much in the back row, Stocks, but Eagles scrum. We saw last week, Tom, creak, and then it eventually broke at times for the Eagles. They certainly put a lot of emphasis on that scrum.
Well, we haven't seen too many today. I think the Dobsons have been cool in their jets, just ready for one, and they pounced on that one.
Tell you what, that was some kick from Isaac Walker. He's put his side 5 metres out now with not long left to play in this first half. Crucial few minutes coming up here now.
Yeah, and Uni-Norths have worked pretty hard in defence, and credit to them, but they'd be pretty disappointed if they let points in now.
Sack at the maul is good from Owls. Inches away now, Gungahlin. Ioane. Can he be stopped, the big man, this close? Brilliant work from Uni-Norths. They're on the ball here, the Owls. Penalty goes the way of the Gungahlin Eagles. Look for a second like Owls might have just forced a penalty there at the breakdown. What's the decision now, Tom, if you're making one for Gungahlin? 7-3 to the good. Not a heap of time left in this half. Looks like they're...
I think the Dobsons have just overrode the call.
Well, here we go. Max Bode onto the park in place of Ian Carter. Experienced Max Bode comes onto the park. He had a full game of second grade. Did Max Bode, and that's tough for young Carter to come off the park before half time. A young colt coming into first grade with not a lot of experience in the position or the code, in fact. Chatting to some people at Uni-Norths said he's a real hard-edged young guy, a really talented player, but not experienced as a prop. So, that's a hard decision for a coach to make, but I think sometimes you've got to make the hard decisions, don't you? And Max Bode will certainly give them
it's a
much
hard,
more experience there.
It's a hard position to just stroll into.
You've had your moments there, haven't you, as well, Tom, as a young prop coming into first grade? You get humbled a few times, don't you, as a young prop on occasion? You've just got to take it, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. And it's a challenge. You're going to keep getting better with every scrum you do, and you might trip up on one and get absolutely smoked on another, but you just take it as a learning curve and try to be better for the next one.
It's funny. I sat down with James Slipper during the year, and that was what he said.
Yeah,
leading pretty much note for note, because he kind of like Carter was forced into propping at a young age, at a slightly older age, I should say, and he just said he got just flogging after flogging after flogging, and every time he just had the right coaching staff around him to say, look, that this is a point of learning, not, you'll have your struggles, but certainly a tough day at the office for Ian Carter, as we see scrum much different already with Max Bode in there, tight head, but platform's good for Tamati Ioane. Oh. Great tackle from Uni-Norths.
Brilliant tackle.
Benny Love backing up onto the park for Osborne and already making an impact is Ben Love. Ioane goes forward this time. Small goes on his own, so chance now for Owls, and they get it. Brilliant from the Uni-North Owls again.
Phil, who's that?
Phil Ferreira. Can't miss him. The blonde locks of Phil Ferreira last up off the breakdown. Brilliant work again, though, from this Owls pack. Surviving under heaps of pressure. has to be said, Tom, the decision to bring Bode on probably saved 7 points there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's strong scrummager. He likes to get down low and, you know, a bit more of a test in the front row. So I think Gungahlin would be filthy with that.
Absolutely, considering the platform was good, as much as Ioanni's been such a positive influence in this first half, going blindside there on your own, not always the best option, and he certainly got met in a couple of brilliant tackles, and it's been the story of this first half in many ways. The Owls' defence and work at the breakdown, supreme, keeping them in touching distance here in this game. Still 7 points to 3. Ali Nahi's try. Conversion from Walker and Jordan Thompson. The only difference between these sides so far is Ben Love.
Oh, collision.
Works down the sideline, still in his Love, and a great offload to Bennett. Better from Uni-Norths. Crichton finds Axelson. Lynch bumps wide to Waite. Puts a bit of footwork on. Does Dennis Waite. Still going, the young centre. See the energy just changed there from Uni-Norths after that defensive stand. They go wide early through Richardson. Just takes contact as Richardson. A couple of big bodies there from Eagles. Spoiling and Lynch. Wriggles through a couple, does Lynch. And here's Tago. Just knocks on. Just Fabian Tago. Filthy with himself, with his team moving the right way there, Tom.
Yeah, they turned a bit of attack on there, did Uni-Norths, and nice bit of work down this right touchline from Ben Love. I don't know how he stayed in there.
He was absolutely crunched by Matt Hawke. Thought the offload to Bennett wasn't too bad either from Ben Love, and it's funny on the couple of occasions that Uni-Norths have played more direct and at full pace into contact, they've really hurt Gungahlin. It's when they've moved wide too quickly that Eagles' defence is just sorting itself out. With pace out wide, it's easy for that Gungahlin team to just move wide, but when they're punching holes, they look really dangerous to Owls. It's definitely something to look for in the second half. You just see the difference, Max Bode. The difference he's making at scrum time, and Owls started to move forward. Here's Toole. Showed on the inside, but kept possession, did Corey Toole. Not long left in this first half. 7-3 Gungahlin. They've had a lot of the possession here, but Uni-Norths' defence, brilliant in this first 40 minutes.
There's a few tired bodies out there, so I'm expecting, maybe something to open up a bit here.
It's been a frantic first half. So we see Richardson look to play the corners. It's all about the bounce here. Kind to Gungahlin, so time for Mac Hansen. Spots a front row in front of him. Hansen in, he'll put on the dancing feet. Hansen, offload to Hawke, brilliant from Mac Hansen. Advantage coming now for Gungahlin. Brilliant counter attack from the Brumbies fullback. Finucci Town a bit of space now. Offload to Atkins. Question if Atkins was slightly held there. No halfback for Eagles, so Stanley will step in. Fast finish to this first half now with Nahi. Just as you said it, Tom. Tired bodies, and Hansen was alive to the opportunity. Had a big week turnaround with training.
Yeah.
All week in Argentina with the Brumbies.
He's a bit busted here at the moment. After that run, I think he copped a pretty big whack at the end of it.
Absolutely, just got to be respected here, Hansen on this left-hand side. So still plenty of time for Eagles to add some points at the end of this half, but penalty comes. Well, consistency from referee Nick Lees as Bennett goes quickly. Here's Reese in a bit of space. Penalty coming. Taken off the ball. Well, Dave Bennett took the decision to go quickly, and he's earned his side 40 metres here. What an end to this halftime, Ross.
Yeah, the fans like that one, I think.
Absolutely. Well, the penalty came with Matt Hawke coming right in the side. Yeah. Penalty came. Bennett, when everyone seemed to think action was over, Bennett just went quick. Yeah, caught Eagles napping. As soon as you said it, Tom, tired bodies, tired minds, perhaps even more so. The championship minutes, as we call them.
Yeah, and a quick tap caught everyone napping. I wasn't ready for that one. It just opened up that backfield of the Eagles, and yeah, there was a lot of space, a lot of open pasture with that kick going through, and it was probably saved. 5-7 points there.
Absolutely, with Josh Reese shifting onto the ball and shifting gears. Didn't look like there was much in the way of cover there for Eagles, so 100%. I just wondered, did the referee consider going to his pocket, given the fact that there was definitely a try-scoring opportunity? But now, against the run of play, Callum Richardson with a chance to draw his sides closer.
To the right.
Pushes it to the right, so score stands 7 points to 3. Well, it was a slow burner of a first half, Tom. Plenty of territory, plenty of physicality out there. We were treated to a bit of a wild finish, but no scoring. Since that Jordan Thompson penalty, which of course got his side back into the game quickly after Ali Nahi had opened the count for Eagles with a well-taken try.
But yeah.
Well, it has to be said, the story of the half is really the Owls are just holding on in defence, doing really, really, really good work at the breakdown.
Yeah. And that's what they did last time they faced the Eagles as well. They just worked and the last 20-15 minutes of the game it opened up, and they really put their foot to the metal and came pretty close to taking away from us.
It certainly seems to be from here, Tom, that the more pace in the game and the more that it opens up, the Owls' kicking game and their pace out wide seems to be a real factor for them. But for the Gungahlin side of things, probably again lots of good, acumen, great work rate out there, but not a lot doing in terms of building phases. And will that be the message from Marco Caputo at halftime?
Yeah, I think and connection with that ball carrier. I said it earlier, and that's what's kind of kept the Owls in the game in terms of the breakdown. But when we're taking one up hit ups, there's danger.
Absolutely. And just before we break for halftime, we'll thank our sponsors, Griffin Legal, the Name Your Right sponsors, Hard Superdry, Match of the Round sponsors, PTP and True Fit and Hill, our Man of the Match sponsors, of course, and there'll be so many candidates out of that first half. More to come, of course. Rourke Projects, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. Thanks, of course, to our sponsors providing the live stream here today in our amazing competition here in ACT Club Rugby, the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup. Fascinating first half, plenty more to come in the second. 7-3 Gungahlin at the break. Good afternoon and welcome back to Nichols Enclosed Oval, where the Gungahlin Eagles 7-3 to the good at the break in this Hahn Superdry match of the round 14 of the Griffin Legal John O'Dane Cup. The league leaders with a slim lead heading into this second 40 as they come onto the park with Uni-Norths awaiting. Joined in commentary by Tom Ross. Tom, a frustrating half probably for the home side in that first 40.
Yeah, I think, they've had a lot of footy, a lot of attacking opportunities, and, credit to the Owls, they did a lot of shutting down and work in the breakdown, and yeah, I think they've put a lot into that first half with not much reward.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be it feels certainly that it's going to be a close finish here, and that something you alluded to late in that first half, the tired bodies, tired minds at this stage in the season going to be really important. We saw the Owls almost take advantage of that at the end of that first half as Levi Shaw, a great take to get things going here as Tamani Ioane finds Ben Osborne, who's back on the field after suffering pretty substantial cut to the eyebrow. Impressive from the young man to come back onto the park after a good shift from Ben Love, has to be said. So he's definitely going to be a factor later in this piece. Phil Ferreira, one of the best on ground for his side. In that opening stanza, advantage coming early now for the Owls. Certainly showing a better picture in this opening exchange.
Yeah, a bit more footy, a bit more ball movement. You'd probably want from the Owls in the second half, but good hit up.
Isalele Fa. Great hit up, and he dropped JP Fanukitau. Not easy to do. Owls looking sharp in this second half so far. There's Ferreira. Osborne comes onto the ball. Met by Shaw. Lynch in first receiver. Drops, but it's gone back. There's a play on here. Crichton gets to Fabian Tago on his own. Ioane muscles the Owls center to the ground, but good ball retention here from Owls. Fantastic start to this half from Uni-Norths. Ferreira. Couple of touches for Ferreira. Osborne gets his second carry this phase of play as well. And there's Ferreira again. How many? Hunting work, Phil Ferreira.
They're going to keep punching those holes around the Eagles' ruck, I think. And
absolutely, there.
A couple of holes there.
Osborne goes directly over the ruck this time. And now they go wide. Thompson has numbers at wide. And one-on-one here with Richardson and Hansen. Good tackle from Mac Hansen and Crichton. Plays fly half. Now gives to Sankey. And carry from the big lock. It's good go forward now from the Owls. Axelson. Still on here now for the Owls. Patient build up. Jamie Cott started the second half for Gungahlin Eagles on this right wing. I think that might be a blood sub as we see. Owls go close and it's a try!
Lockie Osborne.
Lockie Osborne. Well, he had more than a few touches, Lockie Osborne, in that phase of play. And a big young backer muscles his way over for what is a massive score for the Uni-Norths Owls. Well, it looked like his day was done when he took when he showed us that cut in the first half, Lockie Osborne. But between himself and Phil Ferreira, about 8 or 10 carries between the two of them in that phase of play, Tom. And the finish was excellent in the end.
Yeah, both of them getting go forward over the gain line. And they showed a lot of patience there, a lot of phases, and eventually got the goods.
We saw in the first half their ability in the defensive breakdown. Brilliant, and it certainly kept them in the game and kept them within touching distance, not leaking any scores, largely due to that breakdown dominance. And now in this half, we're seeing how that can translate into attack, keeping ball and keeping good go-forward ball, despite the good efforts from Gungahlin in defence. Els just retained, and eventually the door opened.
And, you know, it must have been something that Russ Ingram said at half-time, because they've come out firing, the Owls. Good kick there from Jordan Thompson.
Absolutely excellent strike from the Owls fullback. Thought it was interesting that he didn't take the shot at goal just before half-time. Certainly seems to have the radar working today. Thompson 2 for 2 from his left boot. And the Owls take the lead. Have to say, fair result in the balance of this game. They've turned on the attack in this second period. That is a coach killer from the Owls, giving possession to the Eagles. Off the kickoff. Atkins to Helgesson. Good hands from the forwards there. To give it out to Matt Hawke, and here's Fanuki Tau. He'll want to repay the favour after getting bumped off by Isla Lelefa earlier. Advantage coming for the Eagles.
Good tackle.
So nothing coming there, so the penalty comes offside. Are the Owls? Hansen. Just putting a bit of doubt in the Owls' defence there.
Interesting call to go for the sideline, I think. You know, just in front of the sticks. Level up the scores.
It's almost like the exact opposite of the Owls' approach in the first half.
Yeah.
Eagles cop 7 points, free shot at 3, turn it down. So they're the tight margins, aren't they, Tom? I mean, if they can get over here, the decision will have been correct. But that's free. It's free 3 points, and you could level things up. So certainly it's a move of confidence from Gungahlin, but
yeah, definitely a positive move, I think. But yeah, it might not affect them at all. But you know, later in the game, those little points can be crucial.
You see Ben Love return to the field here with the try scorer Lockie Osborne coming back for a bit of treatment. That wound opening right up again. See, once again, the Owls are just been excellent all day at spoiling that maul. A dominant Eagles maul, getting no purchase today, but Ali Nahi, too big, too strong. The gamble pays off eventually for Gungahlin. Great finish again from the bruiser.
And he almost looked like he was stopped there, but he just kept those legs pumping and somehow found his way to the try line.
Brilliant response from the league leaders.
Well, I think that from the Eagles definitely shows that there's a lot more footy to be played. And, you know, the option to go for the sideline was definitely the right one then.
If you're the Owls as well, you do all that work to stop the maul and then kind of lose a little bit of connection in defence and allow, from a standing start, really, Ali Nahi was able to wriggle over there. That's, given their defence has been so solid all day long. It's just those two occasions where Ali Nahi had just proved too big, too strong, and giving his side the lead again with Walker. Just fading that slightly left of the post. So tight lead now for the Eagles.
And they've been pretty strong around more time, have Uni-Norths, and you know, I think Eagles have probably been a tad too slow to form their rolling maul, but you know, they've come in hard, hit it hard, and stop stopped Eagles from getting any go forward with their maul today.
It was well taken by the Eagles, but Els straight back on that attacking defensive style. Certainly not sitting back in their heels at all here are Uni-Norths.
Probably didn't get enough purchase as he would have liked there, Walker, but
So now after leaking the 5-pointer, Els respond well. They take front ball. Penalty comes.
50-50 call there.
Absolutely hard to see where the difference might have been between that and some others in this game, but referee Nick Leask judging Gungahlin to have ripped that one down illegally. So Thompson pushed Els even closer here. It's a good kick again from Thompson. Now, do the Els go back to them all? Took the easy option at the front. Certainly not the easiest place to maul from.
And it was a great setup on the last one too. Probably what swayed the referee to go towards the Els on that one.
Shaw shaping to get up in a contest here, but it's clean ball for Els. No penalty coming so far, but Lynch still going is Lynch. Oh, and it's been knocked on.
No.
JP Fanukitau just doing a bit of shadow boxing as the others get into a bit of blue. We said it might come again. Rossi.
Yeah, no surprises there. But yeah,
Massive win for Eagles there, stopping that, which because it was a good set from the Els and they had clean ball. Lynch felt like if he could have just wriggled once or twice there.
yeah, and yeah, he had no one on him, so he probably had the right to wriggle a bit more. But safe play, but unfortunately spilled the ball.
Eagles had a dominant scrum for the first 30-odd minutes of this game. Introduction of Max Bode certainly stemmed the flow for now in that Els scrum. But as we said before, Tom, full game in second grade. As the minutes tick along here, the job is just going to be getting increasingly more difficult.
Yeah, and definitely as a front rower, that lactic starts to build in the quads, and I mean, getting around the park makes hard work, but it's where they need him here at scrum time, Max Bode, and he's been impressive since coming on.
See Lockie Osborne taking a seat. Seems like his day's done after leaving the park with a pretty significant cut, coming back on to score the Els' only try of the day. Big shove coming in this tight head side for Gungahlin. No advantage coming though, so it's play on. Els contesting brilliantly at the breakdown, but Eagles up to the task. Benny Love, big tackle from the number 8. Plenty of pressure on Isaac Walker here from Lachlan Crichton.
Probably safety size a couple of metres there with that pressure.
Absolutely. It was a really good stride from Walker, but the angle, tough for the Eagles fly. So Els still playing football in the right areas here, the visitors. Eagles certainly would have been heavy favourites going into this game, Tom, but we know in this competition that Uni-Norths are notoriously hard to beat. And they stay in games right into the end.
Yeah, and
so they'll have had confidence coming in here. And you can see that in their play.
and they definitely get up for games like this, especially when it's against Eagles. They show up for the big games and put in a 80-minute effort all the time.
See Lynch use the footwork, find a bit of space. There's Thompson into first receiver now. Ball goes behind. Tago mops up and wait. Knock on comes loose from the Owls. And that's playing right into the Eagles' hands there. Owls attack. Just faltering at the wrong moments for their perspective, Tom. Plenty of good work in the second half. And they got that try, but it still seems like when they play wide early, things just don't go quite to plan. But when they build pressure, much more likely to punch holes.
And I think they're working pretty hard out on the flanks, are the Eagles in defence. A lot of chat coming from the inside, and a lot of problem solving under pressure. But yeah, as you said, the holes are coming through the guts of the Eagles, and I don't think the Owls have gone that way enough today.
Eagles had the advantage in that last scrum, but the whistle never came. Another good opportunity for them to perhaps get out of their own half here. They, of course, responded to that Owls try from Lockie Osborne well with Ali Nahi's second of the day, but ever since been camped in this area. Owls digging in so well in defence. Just that lack of quality at times in attack. Eagles, with a lot of the names that we often talk about, just they've gone silent here in this second half. Just no ball, no ability to build phases at the moment, Tom.
I think this is looking to be a pretty crucial part of the game. If the Eagles can keep them out here, might help them later in the game.
Absolutely, and they have the advantage coming, so choose to launch an attack out of their own 22. Matt Hawke going the wrong way. So far, big shot from Josh Friend. Still advantage coming. Walker, little chip and chase from Isaac Walker. No advantage, so back for the penalty, but the scrum. It's just such a game changer, isn't it, Tom? When you've got a dominant scrum, a mop-up scrum, which would normally be a point of real pressure there for a side in their own 22 on their own feed, it's one of those things where you're trying to just get out of dodge. But when you've got a dominant scrum like that, it's an ability to launch an attack. It's not even defend.
And as you said, you could be behind on the scoreboard or completely out of the game, but one good scrum can kind of turn the game around. You get a bit of momentum off the back of that, and as you said, kind of launch an attacking presence.
It seems to be a thing for Gungahlin. If they're not at their best on a day, at least they can always turn to that set piece. And so interesting seeing this second half. They can put in a couple of big moments. Of course, not many rounds to go in the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup finals places. We see Owls step up again in defence. To say, seeding places for finals becoming a real factor as we move into the latter stages here, Tom. A win here for Uni would be massive in terms of their ability to lock down a top 4 place.
Yeah, absolutely. And also knocking off Eagles, who are on top of the table at the moment, would be a massive confidence booster for them.
Top of the table for now. A penalty coming here. It's a kickable one at that. Just wonder, will Bennett look to the post once again? They sure will, and it's Thompson seeming to take the reins this time. Backing himself, Jordan Thompson. This will push it out to 13-12 if he can find the range here. Queen of Gungahlin there, just saying hello. Mrs. Ross. You say, Tommy, you're plenty of memories out here, mate. You've been at this club for so long. Did you ever think you'd be in the commentary box at Nichols?
No, bit of a change of scenery for me.
How's the rehab going,
Enjoying
mate?
it. Yeah, pretty good. You know, all goes well. Maybe looking to, well, if we go that far into the season, looking for a semi-finals return, and I mean, it'd be good to be back with this group of boys.
Well, they might need you. 13-12. Owls. Great kick from Jordan Thompson. This is the test that the Eagles needed. You need these tests, Tom, with finals approaching, you say. Looking to build a bit of steel here under the pump at home. Uni-Norths, 1 point lead. We've got an absolute cracking finish setting up here. Thompson with time.
Good nudge.
Great nudge.
Roll.
What a kick from Thompson. Just such an asset for his side, Jordan Thompson. Extra 30, 40 metres out of that kick. Eagles right back under the pump here. There's nothing you can do about that too, Tom, because the cover was there. It was just pinpoint accurate.
It's certainly the worst feeling in the world when you're tired at the back end of games, and you just see a knock on there. Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings when you see a towering bomb or a big punt head down the field, and you have to jog to positions like that and set up again and start again and work your way back up the field.
Work your way back up the field, and facing another scrum here. Uni-Norths first up at the line out. Another turnover. Who out there for Gungahlin, Tom, is the one that's got to take this game by the scruff of the neck? Seem to be just floating in this game, and no one really taking the initiative in this second half to wrestle that ball and to just start playing.
I think there's plenty of players out there that I could pinpoint. Hansen, Walker, but over the years it's been Matt Hawke, big hit or a running through a hole or something like that just picks the boys back up, and he's done it for years on end, and probably why he's
still going.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's certainly not going to be lack of effort in this Eagle side or this L side, but Uni-North starting to turn the screw a little bit here. There's Ferreira.
Shot.
What a shot for Tamati Ioane. And it's forced a turnover. He is so good at that, isn't he, Tom Ross? What a shot.
Yeah.
You just see him. He seems to track people in defence, and then when he gets his opportunity, whoa, Phil Ferreira, his bones will still be rattling from that one, and it's a massive tackle, not only in fact, but in the context of the game, with Uni-Norths really starting to pick up a head of steam there.
Yeah.
It just changes. You talk about game changers. Tamati Ioane, it's a ready-made one out there for Gungahlin, isn't he? And he stepped up massively there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phil Ferreira's not a small bloke. He's
Absolutely
a hard
not.
runner, and kind of caught him by surprise to see Tamati coming from the side there.
Terrifying, Tamati Ioane.
Certainly one bloke you want on your team rather than against you. I wouldn't be running at him.
Going to need a couple more big moments. The Eagles are going to get back into the lead here. The Owls had a chance to possibly turn the screw there. Advantage coming for Gungahlin. Was that the Change of momentum they needed.
Bring it back.
Come back for penalty at the breakdown.
They've got to be careful here, Uni-Norths. I think, you know, this time in the game they can get a bit overexcited at the ruck. And they've been so good today, and you know, really made Eagles work for it. But they've got to keep a bit of discipline in and around the ruck, and yeah, it could make it hard for them.
Absolutely, they've been so disciplined, so excellent in defence, and at the breakdown, yells, causing havoc without really giving too many penalties away. But as they come with that big boot of Isaac Walker, you just see there, changes the point of attack, and now Gungahlin. The good attacking position here as Atkins under heaps of pressure is the young halfback. Manages to get the ball back on his side. Dobson plays halfback. Here's Tamati Ioane. Hansen looks up and tries to play corners. Good option there from Mac Hansen, but Thompson returns in favour. Puts a slight bomb up for Hansen to take. Plenty of space out left if they can find it with Ali Nahi. Shrugs off one, there's Ali Nahi, and he's put the full work on. Still going, Ali Nahi, still going. Helgesson. They go wide now to Walker. There's Hawk. Oh, it's just gone too far. Oh, they'll rue that mistake. Gungahlin and punching tackle there from Willoughby Axelson. Once again,
Great tackle.
Uni-Norths defence stepping up when it counts. They'll have to go again here now with Atkins. Bennett all over the ball. Advantage coming for the high shot. Definitely seemed to just slip up there.
Yeah.
Oh, Ali Nahi. Wow, he's exciting when he's got a bit of space.
Big
the young
bowling
centre.
ball. Big fella.
But he's deceptive as well. He's got footwork and pace as well as the power. Once again, the defence from the Owls. Incredible. Huge moment in this game. Eagles off that tackle from Tamati Ioane have just slowly built now. You just feel if the Eagles can score here.
There's something looming out in midfield here.
So we've got Nick Dobson, JP Fanukitau and Tamati Ioane out in mid-park here.
Got to win the line out first.
Set piece had to be good. First the advantage came for Eagles, but it's a turnover. Well, you said it, Tom. Had to get the first job right. Just couldn't come away with it. And that's a massive moment in this game. Once again, time and again, Uni-Norths have stood up against this Owls side. Against this Eagles pack, I should say, in the Owls. Stepping up time and again in defence, particularly at maul time, Tom. Spoiling in that close contact area.
And they've done it all game. They've the Eagles maul's been non-existent today because just disintegrated when the Owls have hit it hard. And I mean, this big scrum.
It's a massive scrum. Not long to play here. And they get the shove going to the Eagles. Referee pointed to his whistle. Advantage might have been coming, but they get the force there. Look at the Eagles. Players right around Ray Dobson. He's had to battle in this second half, Ray Dobson.
Massive scrum.
Well, you just felt it. It just surged from Eagles. And then to back it up and force the Owls over their try line. As much as the Owls standing up in defence, was a huge moment in this game. That might be a telling point as well, Tom.
Well,
Not long left to play.
the momentum swung both ways within about 30 seconds. Yeah, ours pick up that line out, and the Eagles on the attack here with the scrum.
Matt Hansen just delivering a message to Joel Atkins. I wonder, is he cooking something up here? Matt Hansen, I wonder, will he have a chance?
Or a double bluff, maybe.
If the Owls can just stand their ground here. Building, slowly building for the Eagles. The arm comes out. Finucchi Tau on the ball. Try! JP Finucchi Tau, first to react, spins his way over for the try. What could be the most important one of the day, Tom. What a scrum again from the Eagles pack.
Yeah. The Dobsons again, we get sick of saying their names, I think, but they're just relentless at scrum time. And, Ray Dobson got his hands on his head, but he's worked tirelessly at scrum time today, and same with Nick as well.
Absolutely, they've both given their absolute all out there in both scrum time and around the park. Now, Walker. Chance to push this out. To 6 points, and he makes no mistake. Does Isaac Walker. Attentive play here at Nichols and closed. Gungahlin with the lead. Uni-Norths need a try now. They've worked tirelessly all day, but finally the crack's starting to show up front. Couple tired bodies out there. Just you think about the work of Will Sankey, of Max Bode, Phil Ferrer, Ben Love. They've been excellent all day. Have they had to work too hard? And now this Eagles team just about to turn the screw, but what a tackle. How about that response from the Uni-Norths Owls? No. Penalty goes Gungahlin's way. Another 50-50 call there at the breakdown, Tom.
But yeah, as I said, that hitting that breakdown pretty hard can bring the referee into the game. So that one fell in the Eagles' favour, but they've been relentless there all day.
Absolutely. A counter-attack in particular, they certainly seem to be really well drilled in that facet of play, do the Uni-Norths Owls, with settling line out from Gungahlin. Can they just settle things now? In the lead. Not long to play here, and with the boot of Isaac Walker, they go deep. Thompson surely has to run this one back, but he's not got a heap of support, does Thompson. It's a little chip in.
Oh, the bounce
is kind for the Owls, and they've got possession here. No one at halfback as Crichton arrives. Phil Ferrer down in play, so we'll stop things. Safety being paramount, of course. That probably favours Gungahlin in a way, Tom.
I was just thinking that.
With the Owls moving the ball very quickly to that right-hand edge.
Yeah, I think they were in a bit of strife out wide, the Eagles. But got a bit lucky there.
Everything Jordan Thompson touches turning to gold today. Thought the option maybe wasn't the perfect one, but once again the execution fantastic from Jordan Thompson. Certainly hasn't let his side down today whatsoever. Has Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, and certainly, as I said, around his kicking game, it's been fantastic, and found the back end of the Eagles halves a couple of times and turned him around throughout the game. But yeah, his decision making with the ball has been terrific.
Just take a second to thank our sponsors, of course, Griffin Legal, Hans Superdry, PTP and Truefit Hill, Rourke Projects, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. We've got a great finish still, time left for both sides here. Eagles seemingly on a march to victory now. 19-13 to the good, but anything can change. And this Owls outfit will certainly not give up. Phil Ferreira, what a game he's had. Still going after receiving treatment there. Still going after receiving that shot from Tamati Ioane.
Yeah. Kept getting up.
Important scrum now for the Owls. Just need to get this ball in and out with Lynch, Crichton. Jay Atkins there wearing number 17 at 8. It's a big moment now. Eagles will feel if they can force a penalty, it might be enough. Owls certainly lining up as if they're going to move to this left-hand edge here. They go early through Zalelefa. Ball's out. Question whether there might have been a high shot in there. We play on as Helgesson looks to play in behind here.
Reece.
Pressure on. Reece! It's a try! What a score from the Uni-Norths Owls! The kick was perfect, the pace from Reece, the gather and the finish. Incredible from the Uni-Norths Owls, and now with a kick to come. Can Jordan Thompson put his side into the lead? What a try at Nichols Enclosed Oval. Well, the ball just couldn't have sat up any more perfectly for Reece. Twice in 2 weeks. He scored absolute pearlers for his side. What a score in this game.
Where has this guy come from? Oh my God.
How about the kick and the gather and the finish? Wow. Well, we have got to finish now. Phil Ferreira comes off the park. Well, he won't have many bigger kicks than this, Jordan Thompson. It's the wrong side for the left footer. He certainly found the range all day when called upon, Jordan Thompson. Silence falls over Nichols Enclosed. They've been absolutely stunned here, the Eagles faithful. It looked like absolutely nothing was on. And just a moment of brilliance from Axelson and Reece. And now Thompson. To push his side into the lead. The strike is good. Has he got the direction? It's over! What a kick from Jordan Thompson! As difficult a conversion as you could possibly get. And he put it straight over the black dot. What a kick. What a game, what a finish we've got here. Can Gungahlin come back and win it from here? They'll have a chance. What heart shown from Uni-Norths Owls after giving away that try. Never giving up. Atkins gives to Ioane. Bumps off Ben Love. And he's in a bit of space now as Ioane. Offloads to Ali Nahi. Helgesson.
Oh, bit of a head knock there.
Certainly seemed to be a little bit of a clash of heads, but we will play on for now. Fanuki Tau. No penalties in this zone if you're a Uni-Norths Owls player. free 3 points from anywhere around here. Hansen in a bit of space now. Hansen 1-on-1.
Oh,
Inches short now, the Eagles. Nahi, can he get a hat trick? Gets his knee to ground, so he'll have to release. Tamati Iwani lurking on this left-hand side. They go close. Here he is, the big man.
Yeah.
It's a try! Heartbreaker for the Owls. It's brilliant from Tamati Iwani. You could just see his eyes lit up. Found the space, too big to stop. Comes back into the side, and could he have won the game for the home side? You got a bit excited there, Tommy. Couldn't help yourself.
yeah, sorry about that.
Well, what a try. What a moment in this game.
Yeah, wow. And I was still speechless from the Owls try that they scored down the other end, but you know, it's not over till the fat lady sings, I guess.
Absolutely. Eagles, as soon as they got that turnover at the kickoff, it just seemed inevitable as they moved the ball wide, and Hansen, he was so close to getting it done himself, Mac Hansen. And Tamati Iwani picked as short a line as you can possibly pick, I think.
Yeah.
Straight at the breakdown. Nobody stopping him from that close in. And now Isaac Walker with what could be a crucial conversion. What's the call? It's over. Looks to the crowd, Walker. We're into final play stages here. Only a try will do it now. Call comes on, 1 minute to play.
No, one off.
Could be still 1 minute to play.
We don't know what's going on here.
That's Phil Ferreira back onto the park. I think the call was one, come off. We've got our lines crossed. But all that matters now is the finish to this game. Cannot be long left here. Walker in the pocket. Advantage coming for Eagles. Just over eager there from Owls, trying to change the game. And now Walker can send his side into Owls territory and towards a hard-fought win. Here at Nichols and Close, it's not over yet. But is this one of the final blows? Treated to absolute great games back-to-back here, me and you, Tom Ross.
And it's hard to tell who's got the momentum at any point in time. It keeps swaying back and forth, and big line out here. It hasn't quite hit the mark all day, has the Eagles line out, but they need this one.
They hit it well, and they form the maul. It'll take a moment of brilliance now for Owls to claim victory from here. Eagles on a march to a bonus point win, which will send them into the finals. We're still marching on here at Gungahlin. Finally, it comes out to Walker. Plays wide to Corey Toole. Gets it off to Hansen. Hansen looking for a bit of support in midfield. Dazzling from Mac Hansen. He's had enough. Full time. What a game at Nichols and Close. They had to battle for a Tom, but in the end, the league leaders, the Gungahlin Eagles, showing why they're one of the teams to beat in 2019. Coming up big when they really needed it, laid on with that Tamati Iwani try.
I think you can't fault the Uni-North effort today. They definitely showed up in defence and definitely at the ruck time, but Eagles just took their opportunities when they were presented it, and obviously just pounced there at the end. But all in all, a real good game of footy, and yeah.
Absolutely, it was a cracking game, a back and forth contest where Els will just feel had they held on to that kickoff, they might have just had enough to get home. But Eagles showing the conviction, the heart of what could be a real contender for the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup in 2019. 3 games to play for these. Well, for the Eagles, 3 games to play. West here at Nichols and Close Oval, Charity Week next week. Plenty of details coming out about that. Check Gungahlin Eagles Facebook for details on that charity round next week. Royals and East left to go, and a final spot locked up for Eagles with this bonus point win. And then Uni-Norths now with what becomes a massive clash next week against Queanbeyan. It's going to be a straight shot between those two, most likely for a top 4 spot. Oh, the action come thick and fast. Final thoughts, Rossi, just for the Eagles, how important is it to get up on a day when they really weren't at their best at times, and to just have the steel and the resolve to get over the line in the end?
Yeah, and I mean, at the start of the season, we wanted to pride ourselves on never giving up in games of footy, and always putting our best effort in. And in days like this, it's probably what separates 2 teams from each other. Playing till the last whistle, and really gritting their teeth towards the end.
Absolutely. Well, that's it from us. Once again, we'll just thank our sponsors one more time. Griffin Legal, of course, our naming rights sponsor. Han Superdry, the match of the round sponsor. P2P and Truefit and Hill, man of the match sponsors. Check out all the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup social media platforms during the week for details on that. Rourke Projects, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. What a day. A bonus point win for the Gungahlin Eagles, 26-20. For Tom Ross, for myself, for Bar TV, we'll see you next time. You just saw it, didn't you? You was just like... It was like... Did you ever watch like... Thanks for that, Pep.
No problem. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.
Find out when we listen back, you'll go, oh, did I see that? Reece, break, bro. Break them.